Morning, YouTube. How's it going today? Ah, so, any publicity is good publicity. Um, I get lots of hate last couple days. I think that's great. Um, that means that I'm touching you. Whether you believe it or not, it's not my responsibility. Um, I take you so far, drop you off with God, and I move on, and then it's between you and God. God looks at you and your life and your mind and decides whether or not you're worthy, and then your journey moves forward from there. Um, so if you don't understand, it's not the end of my world, right? It's the end of you. It's the end of your world and existence. Like, in that, by denying it, you're unsaved. When you die, you won't progress. Something will happen negative. Um, they say hell, but hell's for angels and for people right now. But it's not for your soul. It's not like that Catholic torment, whatever. That's all false religion. Um, but yeah, it's only very few that are going to understand what I'm talking about. Even Christians, 2/3. That's bigger than half. 2/3 of Christians are going to fall away from their faith in the end days. That's a lot. Um, that's very few of us who are going to get it all, right? And it's funny to listen to the hate people because they're so arrogant about this knowledge that they think they have, and they've never looked into it. They were told that by an authority figure, and they made up their minds, and now that's it. Shutters are on, nothing else exists. And the brainwashing's strong. Like, they tell you you're not allowed to come up with the right answer, and then TV makes fun of it, and everything else makes fun of it, like it was some far out thing, right? And it would be if space was real, if time was real. The Bible would look like a liar, but it's not real. Millions of years. There's no millions of years. There wasn't. It's 6,000, just like it says in the Bible. Um, the millions of years thing was just for school. It's like when they built the bridge from New Brunswick to Prince Edward Island. Um, they asked the engineer, "Did you have to use curve of the Earth math to to build the bridge. And he said, he could have just said, no, you don't have to. We just make a level bridge. But instead he said, that math has no real world use. It's only for school. I don't know if you're smart enough to understand that sentence. No real world use. It's only for school. Meaning it's only for brainwashing and indoctrination. Has nothing to do with science, has nothing to do with the real world. It's only for school. See, and that's where I get really confused. It's like when we proved 25 lies, all surrounding age of the earth and evolution, to the school board, and they said, we don't like the word lie, we prefer to call it misrepresentations. Well, that's the same thing. Still a lie. Just because you're sugarcoating it. It's like shell shock being called PTSD, right? That's so that you're minimalizing the psychological damage made by fighting in war. So that someone who says, I fell and had to go into the hospital and almost died, this and that, can then say, oh, well, and I have PTSD. Well, that may be that you do have PTSD and that you are different because of that experience, but you don't have shell shock. You don't have that kind of an experience. Right? You're belittling that experience and making it easier for people to send their kids to war. But anyways, the fact that most of you don't, you're okay with these answers. Oh, it's not a lie, it's a misrepresentation. Oh, well, okay. Bye-bye, see you then. And you don't change your head, you don't change your thought process, you don't change the way you think, you don't change the way you look at the earth, you just, oh, wow. If you're going to just call it that, I didn't know, I thought you were lying to me. But you're not, you're, what? What's the other word? They're still fucking lying to you. Right? Oh, well, it doesn't have real world use. It's only for school. That's good. Okay, see ya. And you walk away. And it's like, no, don't you get what that sentence means? They're fucking lying to you. And that's when I care about what you think. Not because I'm genuinely worried about you or anything. But I'm fascinated by the lack in your mind. It's like when I used to tutor math and I'd have to explain math to somebody. And I'd, explain it all out as straightforward as possible. And look at them and they'd have that look on their face of just glazed over fucking what? And I'd explain it again and again and again, different ways every time. And they'd still have that. And what I would do, I would usually money, but I would find an interest of theirs and try to explain it so that it was toward that interest. So if someone liked cars, I would apply it to cars. If somebody liked money, I would apply it to money. If you like drugs, I would apply it to drugs. If you know, and bringing it into your world, using it in something that you comprehend, made it much easier for them, right? But I can't seem to do that with most of you. Like, I've explained this stuff many ways, and I still get questions like, you said evidence at the start, where did it all go? And it's like, holy shit, really? Unbelievable. So I get frustrated that your comprehension could possibly be that low. Right? I don't see it as possible for somebody to be working at that low of a frequency. So then I think naturally that you're turning a blind eye to it in order to seek after your lust. And then I say, okay, well, they're just lustful, broken people. And that's how I can go on. Right? Because otherwise I'd be like, maybe evolution's real and these people are actually monkeys. Woo, woo. Ah, ah. Right? Like, I don't know. Just, but we know evolution isn't real, except for that with every generation, our DNA loses a little bit of information. Just right in your own family, you can see that. Like, yes, you got a mom and a dad, right? Your mom has all this information. Your mom has all this information, and your dad has all this information. They make you, and you get this much of your dad's information and this much of your mom's information in order to make your new information pack, right? Well, this much of your dad's information is lost, and this much of your mom's information is lost. All that information is just gone. It can't come back unless it was dormant. Right? Like the brown eye thing that I was explaining in a different video. You can have dormant genes and that information can still be there in an underline, but after a couple generations of it, that information's lost. And a lot of information's lost right away. And it's not like it's crucial information. You know, you're not being born without a finger. It's just little information, right? Your hair might not be as nice. You're going to go bald sooner or whatever, right? Like, or maybe you won't go bald because you didn't get that gene, right? It's a crapshoot. But it's testable science. It's explainable science. Like, I don't need a big laboratory or anything to explain that to you. I just explained it to you. And if you didn't understand, then your comprehension is too low. Right? That's not my fault that you can't comprehend plain base comprehension. That's a you problem. So when it gets to that point, I can walk away and it's fine with me. Can you? Because it's funny that how vividly you guys want to protect that heliocentricism. Vivid, that's not the right word. Vivementally. You want to protect your system. But I protect mine as well, right? But see, I was of your system, and I used to protect it. And I've actually converted people away from God. I'm still probably to the negative, right? I've had, like I've said in a different video, I've had 4 people tell me that I planted the right seed to turn them to God. Excuse me. Or closer to God, or whatever. But I know I've done it the other way too, and I've turned people away from God, and I was good at that. And so I still want to make up for those. Wish I knew who it was that I did that to, but I can just remember doing it. I can remember having the conversations with people, with Christians especially, and saying, how can you believe that we have this and this and this and that and this and that? But we don't have this and this and this and that and this and that. Those are all fucking lies. You don't have anything. Not a thing. Nothing. You don't have space. You don't have your ball Earth. You don't have a big sun. You don't have billions of years. You don't have billions of miles. You don't have billions of light years. You don't have nothing. None of it. Movement. The Earth was made and it is on a foundation and it shall not be moved. So, yeah, it's just not happening. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's all for this morning. Short and sweet. Was I sweet? No, probably not. Short though. So, I think I'm funny. Fuck you. No, I'm just joking. Anyways, so I'm gonna say goodbye to you now, you wonderful souls. I hope that you all have a great day. Even if you don't comprehend any of the words that come out of my mouth, and you never go to God, I still hope you have a good day. I hope that you're at least of the people that say, well, as long as I'm a good person, I'll get to heaven. No, you won't. I'm going to do another whole video about that. No, you won't. You're not going to heaven. You're going to be judged. And you're not going to have anybody standing in your corner. You didn't go to the lawyer. You're going and you're going to defend yourself to this life that you had, that you're a good person in your mind. You're gonna be judged bad and hard. It's not gonna be easy. You need my lawyer, Jesus, standing in your corner. consider this like one of those commercials where, got in a car accident and blah blah blah. Come and see us. We'll sue everybody. Um, come and see him. He'll defend everybody. He'll defend you so much that he was willing to get on the cross and be beaten and stabbed and killed, murdered in your defense, in my defense. And you don't think you want that lawyer in your corner? You're going to just say, oh, well, God knows I'm a good person. So you've never thought about beating somebody to death? You're not thinking about beating me up right now? You don't think hate thoughts? You never had like sexual immoral thoughts? Just the thoughts. You got to defend yourself for just the thoughts, not the actions. And then if we start going into the actions, have you ever lied to anybody? Have you ever stolen anything? Like a chocolate bar, anything? Cable? Something? Like trust me, you need the lawyer. You need it. Big time. Big time. And that was the video that I was going to do. I was going to talk. There's a guy that I know who talks about knowing God without Jesus. And he keeps saying, oh, who's this Jesus guy? He's just a man, blah, 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 going on. First off, he wasn't just a man. He was fathered by frequency. Just that sentence right there, right? But he understood spiritual enlightenment and alchemy and God and frequency enough to bring other people back to life, to heal the blind, to heal the sick, to feed the starving, and to bring himself back to life after being dead for 3 days. Now, if you don't think that that person was worthy of you at least wanting to model your life after, at least wanting to know what he knew in order to understand God better, because look what he did, right? But then, over and above all that, he did all that as an audition to become your lawyer. That's his commercial. This is 1-800-LAW. Jesus, law, whatever. That's the commercial right there. And I hate that my eyes are all dark looking in there. Anyway, that's his law commercial. To get you to go to him as your lawyer. And he did all of it in spite of you. In spite of you being that sinner and everything that you've all done and say and do and think, and everything that we all do and say and think, and none of us are worthy. Not even close. If we were worthy, then he wouldn't have had to do it in the first fucking place. And he could have just not come down, not died on the cross or whatever, and just said, do it. You know, I'm your lawyer. I'm going to be here. Here it is in a book. Right? He didn't have to actually come down. He could have just touched somebody's brain, said, write a book. But he said, no. I'm going to go above and beyond on this one. I want them. I want to be their lawyer. I want to cover every one of them. I want as many as I can get my hands on, and the best way for me to do that is I'm going to go down there and die for them. And let them know I am serious. This is me, and I am going to save you. Come to me. That's why we have Jesus. Amen, brothers and sisters. Have a great day.